Hey, folks. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of On the Icebox with Iceberg Bricks. My guest to you, my guest that's on tonight, that I bring to you, it's a little bit different pace. Usually, you will have like somebody who's mock oriented on the show, and today is not that case because I wanted to bring something a little bit more interesting to the flavor on the Icebox. And so I brought my good brother here, Mr. Learn Brick. How you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Cheers to you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you stopping in, man.
Mm.
So, what's the life like in LB's world, man? You got a lot of books behind you. You know, you're a wine connoisseur, man.
Hey, let's not give short shrift to the beer makers as well. I'm a wine and beer connoisseur.
All right, all
But
right, all right.
now these days it's a little hectic. What with the holidays coming up, so everyone's putting their orders in. I got family to buy for, so we got to go shopping. And I'm a dude, so not so much with the shopping for
Mhm.
me.
Right.
But it's a good kind of busy. It's a busy in service of others, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely,
If you're
absolutely.
just busy for yourself, that's I mean, it's fine.
Um,
But for me, I just want a
yeah,
little bit more.
yeah, absolutely. I can't do the long lines, so, bro. I
That's why
can't.
Amazon, oh, greatest company ever created.
Yeah,
They just
Cyber
bring it to
Monday,
you.
man. Cyber Monday. That's right, Cyber Monday. So, being that you are a vendor,
Hmm.
so did you take in more or did you sell more?
Hmm.
What
I
happened on
th
Cyber
I
Monday?
think when the dust settled, I think I bought more than I sold. There was don't
Ah,
get me wrong, there was a fair few amount of orders, especially on Black Friday. I would have thought people would have been out at the stores, out away from their
hmm,
computers, but a fairly hefty Friday for me, which was nice because I had the weekend to pull the orders and pack the orders and get them out to all these lovely people who are building great things. Um,
hmm.
but when it all settled out, I think I ended up bringing in another. I was plus 3,000 on the weekend, plus 3,000 pieces. Um,
Right.
Target, if anybody missed it, I feel sad for you because you should have got it. The Sanctum Sanctorum set from Target was
Hmm.
15 bucks, and it
Oh,
is beautiful.
right,
And
right.
so I picked up a whole load of those. I was waiting and was waiting and was patient. I didn't get the Walmart box
Hmm.
because I did a bunch of those earlier this year and they were a great value. And they still
Right,
are. If you're a builder and you need a bunch of varied pieces and a bunch of different parts, there's a lot of great colors in there.
right,
Um,
right.
but if you just want to go buy one, you go get it. But as far as for the store and for a growth product, it wasn't going to
Hmm.
work that well for me.
Okay,
So
okay.
I was patient. I let that one pass, and Target didn't let me down.
All right, yeah, and capitalize on target. That's all right, man. Yeah, man. And that's where that set alone is where a lot of magic happened for people's actually mocks of Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, there's
Um,
some great pieces. And there's good bricks. There's a
yeah.
lot of tan bricks in there. Some good decorative elements. The
Hmm.
silver Hero Factory blade, the little decorated fan piece. There's some good stuff in there.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, man, LB, tell me, how'd you get into Lego, man? How'd you start doing this thing?
I've I think I followed the same path a lot of people did. I was
Hmm.
my first experience with Lego was when I was a young kid, and I honestly can't remember the age, but I think it was probably around 6 or 7 because I remember we moved a lot around with the kids. So when I was a kid, so I can associate playing with Lego for the first time at a
Hmm.
specific location when we were in Mississippi, and I couldn't have been any older than 7, so it had to have been before then. Um, and it was a lot of just like getting random Lego from family for Christmas and holidays or things like that. Um,
Hmm.
I remember building some older house, but whatever house build there was in 1988, I built it.
Hmm.
I remember that, but I think it was from there, and then for like a period of 5 or 6 years, I just got what I got. Didn't have a lot of like say in what sets that came to me, but
Right.
whatever I got, I was always thankful to get. Um,
Okay.
Son of an airman in the Air Force.
Hmm.
Not a lot, they don't give a lot of shekels to the lower tier guys. So whatever we got was amazing. Um, and then for a while,
Hmm.
you sort of put it you, the same old story, especially with young men get associated with Lego, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there are other people in the world, and they're beautiful.
There's a girl.
Yeah, they're beautiful people out there, and I want to know them more.
Right.
And this is somehow makes me sort of less beautiful. But
Okay.
now it has come back into my life, and it's great.
Right.
I got back into it, I don't know, about let's see, 2 years ago now, looking at the date. A friend of mine came up from West Virginia, and she brought me, where it is, it was back here. I keep this back here just because got this. Hopefully the video is still working. The Joker bumper car poly bag, just on a lark. I don't know how much she got it for. She just brought it for me. And I was like, that's amazing. I literally haven't snapped together a brick in 20 years. And then once I did, I was back. You're always back.
Yeah.
Once you put together a brick, you're like, oh, this is so satisfying. It it gets in there, like it's just in your lizard brain. You want to just put stuff together. You want to create order from chaos. And so that's the set that got me back into it.
I can relate.
So I've been going strong since then.
All right. We definitely appreciate having you back, man. You are a pillar in the community. You are.
Let's not oversell it. I'm happy to be of service, but there are true giants that are pillars.
Oh yeah,
I'm like that stone that's in the wall. If you take it out, you're like, that wall looks weird. If you took that stone out, that's me. I'm that stone.
Okay. We could be stones together, man. I'm a small guy too, man. I'm a small guy. So what's the next big adventure for LB, man? What's the next big adventure for you?
Well, I am actually going to venture out to my first Philly Brick Fest next year. So I've heard all about it. I've seen footage of it. I think I remember last year somebody went did a tour of barely a fifth of the thing. I just thought it was amazing, and I know that I have to get out there. I want to meet all of the lovely people that I've talked to online, that I've sold to. Charm City Brick, who I haven't seen online, but I sell. They're a frequent customer, so I want to see what they've been building all year with the bricks that have been going from my drawers to theirs. Okay, that came out wrong, but still.
Yeah.
Let's just reel that back in. But I want to know what people are making with the bricks that leave from here, because when they leave me, they're not part of anything but a store.
Right.
But when they go to somebody else, they're part of something better, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I got the tickets. I'm ready to go. Got my ticket to Philly Brick Fest.
And you will not be disappointed. Matter of fact, that's actually the bug that kind of pushed me over the edge going to Philly. I went earlier this year and met great people, in the Lego community, and that got me here. Yes, it's. Are you ready for it, man? Because I'm telling you, it's gonna take off on you, man.
Don't worry, I'm a distance runner, not a very good distance runner. But I got the endurance. It's my wife, who I'm a little worried about, is going to need some pep talking throughout the day. We're like, no. There's like a whole other building we need to go check out now.
Right. I got you.
Give her, do a couple of cheesesteaks, get some beers somewhere in the city, have a nice glass of wine maybe, and then get energized, pepped up for the next part of the day.
Oh yeah. Now, are you going for the whole shebang, or are you just going for one day?
So unfortunately, because of the drive, and I got, I'm a guy with a day job. So I'm just doing the Saturday, and I don't know if there's anything special on a Sunday, and I feel bad if there is, but I can just do the Saturday. So that's what we got tickets for. We got to drive in the day before, and then we'll stay the night, and then we'll do all of Saturday, and then we'll take off the next morning, because it's another 5 hours to get back here. And I know over that weekend I'm going to meet a lot of people and get some orders, and I got to get back here and pack them for them.
Yeah,
I can't be late with those things.
No, you can't be. Timely is a good thing. Ask FedEx.
Yeah.
You can ask FedEx, but don't get stuck on the island like Tom Cruise, man. That's bad. That's bad.
That's why I go with the U.S. Postal Service. People give them a hard time, but they have not let me down.
Yeah.
Right. Even abroad, even internationally, they are good folk.
Right there. Okay. All right. So normally I would ask, my guests, how would they describe their work? How would you describe your work, being that you're an avid Bricklink seller?
Well, it's one of, I think the if you're going to be a Bricklink seller, the best approach you have to take to it is describing it as something respectable. You have to You have to treat your customers with respect. You have to treat the product with respect, because these are people throughout the country, throughout the world, who have done a job, and they've earned money, and then
Right.
now they're giving that money to you and hoping to get something that gives them joy in return.
Right.
It's like, what, they want to build something amazing. They want to, or maybe they just want to put something together and give it to their kids, or they want to give it to the neighbors, or they want to do something. But it's the best way to describe it is a world of respect, and it's also a world of joy, and it's a world of creativity. But it's at the core, when you're especially on the seller side, because you're doing a business transaction with somebody, is you have to respect both the customer and the product, and you have to make sure that you don't defraud either one of those sides.
Okay. Okay.
But I love every day of it. I think it's amazing. Some days are long, some days are tough. I was actually speeding through a part out earlier tonight to get to the interview. I wanted to make sure that got done and the product got in there, because I have a wonderful lady from Missouri who loves to sort of stay on top of every time I put something in the system. That she's like, "Hey, ooh, what's new? What's new?" So
Right. Yeah, and keep them coming back and returning. Good service. Yeah, that's good. That's good. A very heavy responsibility, man. Because not to not to sugarcoat anything, but I mean, you guys are like the lifeline we go to create.
Oh, absolutely. And it's supplying that to all the builders out there that keeps me coming back to it. There are days I'm like, I could just put everything on clearance and toast the entire store. But then what would I have to look forward to like the next day? Not to say like the rest of my life is anything that's odd or without meaning, but like this is a very interesting thing where you where you're putting together an order for somebody. You don't know what it's going to, so there's like a little bit of mystery to it, and that's the fun part. Is like, what is this going to go do? And some people, you can tell it's like, oh, it's just to flesh out maybe some missing parts they have, or just they want all the new things, which is perfectly fine. Then they'll have something for later. Maybe they'll get inspired down the road, or maybe having received it, they'll get inspired. Maybe they don't have like the instructions ready to go. They don't have their mock in their head ready to go. But once they get it and they feel it and they touch it, and they're like, yes, okay, I know what I'm going to do with this now. So like there's always that little gap where you don't know, and that's where some of the best feelings in life come from. Right after you don't know.
Right. Okay. Well described. I like that. Good inspiration, man. So, word on the street is that my man Learn Brick is a wine connoisseur. Tell me, bro. Tell me about some selections, man.
Oh my goodness, I could spend.
Wine. I just got apple juice right now, but
Hey, you enjoy your apple juice, whatever you drink, however you drink it. I don't. It don't bother me, but I am I'm a wine geek from way back. My grandmother is French, and so my father's half French, and so of course we had to sort of start early with learning how to drink wine and respecting it. Like I'm getting the sort of motif in my life that it's all about respect. But having grown up as a military dependent, you never lose your feeling of respect for those around you and the objects in front of you.
Right.
But we started when we were young. We would have what we used to call I'd be giving away my last name, but the Nielsen Rosé, and it would be like this much red wine and this much Sprite. So like you would really, really weaken it out. And as you got older, the ratios would flip.
Okay.
And you would learn to understand it more. Oddly enough, there was a period there where I just didn't want to. That was whatever about it. And then when I met my now wife in college. Of course, you got to be Mr. Suave guy. You got to know about the world a little more. So I tried to bring in some French wine, and we were way too young to be drinking this stuff. Like it just blew our palate away. So bad. It was not. We shouldn't have started there.
Right.
But since then, for the last about I think 19 or so years, I've just been learning about it more and more, growing into it more and more. There's a lot of different picks I could give you. There's some like an easy, like if you're a white drinker, go with some unoaked Chardonnay. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a little lemony, not a lot lemony, but a little lemony, maybe a little appley. If you want a little more butter, get it oaked, because then it's got that nice little soft, creamy butter taste. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just don't get me started. I could talk about this. I could talk about this for hours.
Man. All right.
But yeah,
definitely,
if anybody wants to send me Instagram questions, I will. You tell me here's what I like to eat. I will send you back a wine that you should drink with it.
Oh man,
I say
that's good
should.
stuff,
Here's a
man.
one that I'll recommend that you drink with it. I don't want to say should, because you
Right.
drink what you drink and you pair with what you want to pair with. And if it all, wine only comes down to one question: do you
Hmm.
like it? If you like it, then you drink it. If you don't like it,
Right.
put it aside. Move on to something else. You only have a finite amount of life, so don't
Yeah.
waste it on things you don't like.
Very true. Very true.
Although if you don't like your work, you should probably go to work, earn a paycheck.
Yeah, you definitely do that. Definitely do that. Yep. Buy the fine wines and Legos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people who got disposable income tend to put it in a couple of different categories.
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, you tell me what's unique about your bricking process. When somebody, I go to Learn Bricks store and I order, 1,000 pieces. What's unique about the way you handle Lego and the way you package and send it to the buyer?
Well, unfortunately, I can't say that it's unique, because unique means one of a kind. And there are 2,000 sellers in
Right.
the US. So I guarantee you, any number of techniques or any number of attitudes or any number of things that I do for the product, somebody else will
Hmm.
also have that way to it. But
Hmm.
what I can tell you, and this is trying very desperately not to be like a shill or to sell myself, but
Hmm.
if you order it, you got to get it fast. I will do my best, especially if you order it before the end of the workday. Before 5, it'll get packed that night and it's
Hmm.
sent out to you the next day. And sometimes it's a little it's a little late into the evening, but I get it done, because like in the beginning, like I said, you're giving up your hard-earned money. So I want to make sure
Right.
that I mirror you in kind. You're putting that energy into getting this product. I want to put that energy into getting you that product.
Right. Right.
So and I try to make sure just everything is, pardon me, bagged separately, and it's just nice and clean and it's ready to go for you.
Hmm.
But it's really just a matter of respect, getting people what they want is when they want it. They wanted it yesterday. They thought about it. They had the idea. They needed it in there. They needed it in their collection. So
Right.
the more the more you can shrink the time between the need and the have, you're
Hmm.
good. You make people happy,
Okay.
and that's my goal.
Yeah.
Which was it's a little rough around holiday weekends and longer holidays. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad, because maybe it's an extra day before somebody gets to it, and that eats me up as much as you have to wait for it. I'm
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I could have done it, but I needed that half an hour of sleep, because I got to
Right.
get up and go to
Right.
work the next day.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Got to stay on the grind.
but
Right.
what I can say, like, it won't be unique, but it will be a good, like, I will treat your order and your money and your request with the respect that it deserves. And
Yes.
maybe that's
Yes.
the
Yes.
thing that's unique.
Yep. That's very cool, man. That is very cool. So you're out of the set, builder. So just out of the set builder. Tell us about some of the sets you and your significant other have enjoyed.
Um, so together, her and I, we do a lot of she likes a lot of the structures in the creator series, the 3-in-1s. So the last year and a half, there's been a lot of like 3 different sets: a small, a medium, and a large set, all of which are 3-in-1s, all of which are uh, the creator line. And she really likes those, mainly for the fact
Hmm.
that um, on occasion she gets this sort of need to create a little bit of disorder and then reorder it. So normally that would have been
Hmm.
rearrange your room in the house, or rearrange all the stuff in the kitchen. I've stopped her from doing the kitchen, because that's my room. You can't Don't move my pots around. Man's
Right.
got to
Right.
cook. If I can't find a pan, it's gonna be
Gotcha.
I got to find everything again. So she does it. She still does it with her office, and she still does it with some of the stuff like in her closet, which is fine. But there's sometimes you get that little inkling, like you just want to mix things up, and
Yeah.
the 3-in-1s satiated that need in a way that I think maybe she doesn't know, but that she really does like.
Hmm.
So I do a lot of those, a lot of the creator 3-in-1s. I do a lot of the architecture builds.
Okay.
I tend not to buy them too often for myself, but I do get them a lot as gifts, because people just think I like this classical look, which I'm okay with. So I've got a fair amount of the architecture build. Well, not a fair amount. I've got enough where I'm like, yeah, it's a good collection to have.
Right.
But
Right.
we do a lot of the creator 3-in-1 buildings, not the animals or the non-building stuff, but just the structures.
Hmm.
And then for really sort of drawn out occasions, we'll get into the modulars. And that's one of the things that I got. That's how I got her maybe hooked, but just sort of on my side with the,
Mhm.
here is a toy meant for kids, but it's really for adults too, because what kid's going to pay $160 for a set?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Lego at some point has to understand, like, yeah, it's a toy, but it's not that much of a toy.
Uh-uh. Not for
So
that.
yeah, we
Yeah.
started with the Parisian restaurant because we're both big foodies and like the all things French and delicious. So like I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's the greatest segue into this hobby. So we did the
Right,
Parisian
right.
restaurant, and she was like, yeah, that's pretty badass. So
Yeah.
now I have all the current modulars
Mhm.
since the pet shop forward, or the detective's office forward.
Okay.
Of course, now I have to go back and get all the old ones, and that's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt
That's
the
gonna
old that's
cost
gonna
you.
hurt the wallet.
Yeah, you gotta sell more Lego.
Oh yeah, I did get all the old, because now it's the season for this kind of thing.
Hmm.
I spent not this past summer, but the summer before that, getting all of the pieces for the old Winter Village sets. So
Okay.
the bakery, the post office, the cottage, and oh, it's gonna bug me. What's the fourth one? The village market, the
Okay. Okay.
market scene. Um,
Yeah.
so all of those pieces. So I would sell pieces, or sell stuff for the store and buy more stuff for the store. But like at some point we moved into this house, and so I was like, okay, I did a big sell down. I don't have
Hmm.
anything waiting to be parted out. Let's take all of this money that I got in the summertime and just buy all the parts. So I
Yeah.
bricklinked all of those sets, and they're pretty good.
Okay.
They're actually I don't want to say anything too harsh about the current designers of the Winter Village series, because we just did
Uh-huh.
the Winter Village train station. But
Ah.
the older sets are nice. They're
Yeah.
just a little bit better.
Okay. Okay. I
Don't
can
get me
take
wrong,
your word.
I do like the train station, but
Right.
the Winter Village cottage is a very good build. If
Yeah.
you haven't built it yet, you should. It's fantastic. Got a lot of
Yeah.
medium. Got to get a lot of medium blue, but it's in there.
I was talking with the bros about that winter set, and it just seemed like it's. I mean, like you said, it's a great set, but it seemed like even a train set, it seemed like it's just missing just a little bit more.
I think
You know.
I think because it's like a 20% facade of the train
Hmm.
station. Like if they turned the corner, like because you just get like the fat end and the skinny end, and then like the building cuts off, and you've got the bench where you're waiting for the train. If they'd have just come in a little bit more and given you like maybe 3 planes of view inside the train station,
Hmm.
still left the back open, but just give you another angle, like maybe a waiting area, maybe some place on the inside, maybe a little place where kids can romp around. I don't know. I'm not a designer, but I don't know where they draw the line at the part count, or the budget for the set. But
Right.
just another piece of depth to that building, and I think maybe it would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think so. Definitely think so. So, man, I look behind you, right? You look like you're sitting in the public library, but I know you ain't sitting in the public library because you're having a beer. So, so
You don't know about the laws of my town. Maybe I can have a bear at the library. Maybe
at the
maybe I
public
paid the guy at the front desk. You don't know.
library, they be beating you over the head with a billy club.
That's true. That is true. It's a tiny town. They don't like any disorderly behavior here. No,
Yeah.
no. This is a very small. If I can get the yeah, this is about 3 bookshelves of an 8 bookshelf library. It goes all the way. See if I can. It goes all the way around the room. Oddly enough, I was talking about the train station needed a third wall. Like this has got 3 planes of wall. I'd move the camera, but it just gets shaky and bumpy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I keep the. This was the biggest wall in the house, so this is where 6 bookshelves can fit. There's a couple of more in that direction, and then a couple of little ones over there. Um, but yeah, before my love of Lego, and before even actually slightly before my love of wine,
Mhm.
came my love of books. Just
Okay.
like these people have crafted a story, and they want to give it to you.
All right.
Whether written a book of history, written a book on art, written a book on interesting things that they think are interesting, that they
Uh-huh.
want somebody else to know, or have created a story that's unique to them, and they want you to know it. And so I just fell in love with all the great books that have been written, and they're still coming out, and they're still being written. It's
Right.
amazing that human history is like 15, 20,000 years. The human history, written, recorded history, is
Uh-huh.
just a little blip. But in all that time, we're still making great tales to tell.
Right.
And
Right.
I think it behooves us maybe to indulge in a few of them over time. You're not going to be able to get to all of them, but get to enough of them where you can understand at least some small part of somebody else's world. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So with that, right? That creativity that you have and that love for books that you have, does that love spill over into Lego? And tell me about the uh the the system that you use as the true librarian you should have been. Because people now I'm gonna tell you, A falls, we know about the system. And I want you
Oh
to
yeah.
name it, but some of the T falls don't know about the system. So
No, I mean, in the library.
mhm,
Now, this was a system before there were systems, sir.
right, right.
Even the Christiansens didn't. They waited till the 50s to create their system in Lego. So this system was created in 1876 by a
Okay.
wonderful fellow named Melville Dewey, and so a lot of people will now know it as the Dewey Decimal Classification.
Ah,
So all of the books behind me and all around the room, they go in Dewey order, with the exception of one volume of books, and that's way. See if I can point to it. Yeah, way over there. I have the Oxford English Dictionary, and it's all 20 volumes of it. It's amazing, by the way. If you can get it, get it. Um, but it technically belongs in the middle of the collection, but I really wanted to set it aside. Um, but yeah, so it's the Dewey Decimal System. It starts at 000 and goes all the way to 999. And actually,
uh-huh.
it's one of my goals to read one book in every section. So we have the classes, the divisions, and the sections. The classes are the 100s, the 200s, 300s. The divisions are the 10s, and then the sections are the ones.
Okay.
So 000 is general books about general things. So basically an encyclopedia.
Hmm.
I have one very super massive book called the Volume Library, which I will eventually get to.
Okay.
And then it goes all the way to 999, which is the history of extraterrestrial worlds and planets. Um,
Ah,
so there was a lovely book by Lemonick, literally called Other Worlds, and it's fantastic. But I haven't gone through them all yet. I didn't read them. I'm not reading them in order because that would be just a little heady and very like. There's a section in the middle I would get very bored.
oh yeah,
The
oh yeah.
400s is language and dictionaries, and I'm like, I can't read 7 dictionaries in a row, please. So,
Yeah, that'll be pretty rough. That'll be a bit
but
rough.
again, much like wine, I could geek out about the Dewey Decimal System all day and tell you how much how it's so much better than the Library of Congress classification system. But let's not lose too many viewers real quick.
Right. How does one even acquire as many books as you had?
Oh, years of flea markets, man. Just book sales and
Ah,
friends of the library book sales. If you got a library in town, there's almost always a friends of the library group, and they will almost always have a friends
uh-huh.
of the library book sale, and they will almost always on the last day have a bag sale, and you fill that bag for $1 and you bring that stuff home.
Gotcha, gotcha.
I'm gonna quickly agree with Jesse's Brick Galaxy. Ready Player One is a fantastic book. I'm a little bit scared of how this movie's gonna be.
Hmm.
Ready Player One is being directed by Spielberg, and it
Ah,
looks good, but it could be one of those movies that's visually amazing, but like dialogue wise and actual movie wise
hmm.
is it's just meh. So let's hope they can get it right. But Ready Player One is a fantastic book, and if you haven't read it, you should.
Ah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go out and go get that tomorrow, then, man. Got to take got to take the guy who runs Reading Rainbow, man. You got it, man. You got it down pat, man. I'm gonna take your word for it, man. I'm gonna go get that book, man.
Yeah.
Um, is what you do with Lego? Is it there? Do you find it to be therapeutic? Because to me, it sounds like you find you talk so much inspiration about it, but however, I see this calm in you. At the same time.
It is. I wouldn't call it therapeutic because I'm in a place where I like it's not that lot of there's
Hmm.
not a lot of stress in my life. Maybe my job has some like ups and downs, but there's not like I don't need it as therapy.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
trust me, we could all use a little therapy. Nothing wrong with that. Go talk to somebody, go see somebody, talk about it. It's great.
Right.
But I find it not so much therapeutic, but very zen
Right.
because you can get yourself sort of in this almost like
Hmm.
trance-like mode when you're building. And I noticed that when I was building so all this last week, I've been putting together the sets for the Winter Village, and now it's all done. The wife always really wants to get the Christmas decorations out by the end of Black Friday weekend. They're
Okay.
out, and then she can enjoy them for the maximum amount of time. Because Christmas is amazing, and Christmas decorations, while I don't like putting them up, do look very good.
Right. Right.
they're,
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
they're not my
they
jam
do.
to like actually put together. So I put together the sets, but I found myself this week while building the sets just very sort of focused on what I was doing and very very zen
Hmm.
like, um, just enjoying the process of it. And I think in some ways it's not so much therapeutic as it might be hypnotic, because you
Okay.
get this every time we put a brick together, you get this click. And so like that's a little signal to the lizard part of your brain, like, satisfaction. That's so good. And you get to experience that hundreds of times, even in a small set. It's a
Right.
a 70-piece set, little teeny ones. Still get to click click click, and you're like, it felt very good. And so
Right. Right.
and I think there's a part to the creating order from chaos that I think the universe desperately wants to go to chaos. It wants to go to equilibrium. It wants to just even everything out. But every person putting together a set just tries to bring a little order to this jumble of pieces when it started. And so I think
Right.
that's, for some people it's therapeutic, and for some people it's more relaxing than it is therapeutic. And I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
Aussie Brick Chick, don't give up your dreams. Be a librarian. Do it. I never got to be one. I didn't get to be one. I got the degree. I can't do it.
She would be a very exciting librarian.
Oh, man.
She would be.
I imagine Australian librarians don't even shush people. They just want people to get excited and loud and just amazing in the library. I've never actually, I don't think I've ever heard an Australian person shush any other person.
I don't think so either.
Now she's going to shush me.
Shush, shush, shush. So has Lego ever helped you persevere through a difficult situation, and do you care to share?
Unfortunately, I don't think it has. It's not that it can't. For other people, it's great. But I think now I'm in a point in my life where there aren't too many dark situations happening, or too many things that need to be worked through. When I did have to buy a house, and while that's a lot of paperwork to sign, it's not really so much a situation you got to work through.
Okay. Yeah.
But that is not to say that it can't. And I think that anything that moves you through those situations is great. But as far as a persevering side, not right now. It might in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those things where something happens and I just go to the store for a while and it gets my mind off of it. And it's nice. But I gotta say, and I don't really hasten to use the word blessed, but I'm fortunate that it's a really even keel time in my life. So I can get the store good to go. It can grow nicely. I can get people what they want to get, and without a lot of trouble, because I know that sometimes there are some sellers who have some troubles. I've seen it a lot of times in the forums. They either have just financial issues or family issues or just all nature of heart-wrenching, horrible things happen to them. And the great thing is both the hobby itself and the community that supports the hobby can help those people. Either just through quick little textual support, or through actual, like if they know the person, they go by and support them, or they just they can sit next to them and like, here's a build, and we're just going to sit next to each other and we're going to be fine today. Maybe tomorrow not so much, but today this is all we have to worry about, is getting this together. And so I think that's a great thing about this, both the product and the community.
Yeah, definitely. They both build each other up. Building up the bricks and building up people at the same time. So with that, I'm glad you touched on that. The Lego community, the A4 community. See you pop up in a couple chats and everything, and the name has been tossed around a lot. So you have some notoriety, sir. Your reputation do precede you. How important is the A4 community, the Lego A4 community, to you?
There is a selfish answer and there's a not selfish answer. The selfish answer is they buy bricks. So like, but that's the easy flippant answer. That's the one where like, yeah, they help me by sending me money. But that is just a small part of it. I think it's helped me sort of understand that it's a good way to make some friends. It's a good way to find other people throughout the world that at least on this part you can connect. They may disagree with you on any number of things or all the things, but at least on this issue, there's not a lot to worry about. You can talk Lego all day, and it's something where you can connect. And I think the AFOL community has helped me sort of make connections outside of the town that I'm in. Don't know a lot of people here, and unfortunately, it's not like I don't know a lot of people here, and therefore I am sad. It's one of those things where like I got the day job and I got the store, so like maybe not a lot of opportunities. I'm starting in with the postal workers because those are people I see every day, and those are my those are my friends. But that making connections here in person, it's a little bit more of a tedious project or a prospect. With an AFOL, you immediately know, A, you're both adults, so like
Right.
you've got that level of maturity down, and you both love Lego. So like that's an area where you can start talking, and then maybe it moves on to something else. But at least you've got that connection, and I think that's the part I love about the community. Like we automatically know there's this one thing that ties us all together.
Hmm. So out of the sets that you had a chance to open, and maybe some that you didn't open. Let me open it up to that. Some that you didn't open. Which set is your most favorite?
Mm. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm looking around because like literally above and around the camera are all the sets that I built.
Uh-huh.
I would have to say, I think, and it's a bit of a cop out because it is the largest one. But I think I have to say the Assembly
Mhm.
Square, the big modular that came out in December or
Okay.
January.
Okay.
Don't worry, I said January. Don't comment on me. I know what it came out. But there was such an amazing, intricate, nostalgic because it threw back to a bunch of the older modulars. That was the most fun to put together, and it took a couple of days to get it together.
Mhm.
It's one of those ones where like you wanted to keep going with it, but it's like midnight, so maybe get some sleep and come back to it in the morning.
Mhm.
I think so far that's been the greatest one. I already know because I've seen it being built. I have it over here, and I look at it every day. That Ninjago City is going to blow it out of the water.
Oh yeah.
I
I'll
love
let you
Assembly
know.
Square. It is classic, and it has
Uh-huh.
just enough creativity and just enough new things to really sort of pop as a new build. But you can definitely tell it follows the same architecture. But
Mhm.
Ninjago City is a whole new beast. It's a whole different style because they have to go to a different culture.
Right.
You know, the Ninjago world, the universe has to be put into this one giant set. And
Mhm.
so plus I've watched it being built so many times. I'm waiting for I don't know if String Cheese has done it, but I love watching String Cheese's videos. They're so
Yeah.
relaxing. They're so
Yeah.
relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah. They are. They are.
I've watched his Porsche series like 10 times now, which is sad to say because it's 11 videos long. But I don't think String Cheese has done Ninjago City yet, and I would love to watch that. But from everything else that I've seen, it just looks like it would be a wonder and a joy to put together, and I can't wait to get to it.
Okay. Okay. Time's a waiting, young man. Yeah, time's a waiting.
Now I gotta wait for the wife. The big builds we do together, and so that's
Okay.
fine. She let me do the architecture ones on my own, not on my own, but like she doesn't need to be involved. Like they're cool when I build them. She's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Um, but she likes to, for the bigger stuff, she likes to, there's some joy to be had. Let's have some joy together. And
Hey,
anything you
why
can do
not?
together as a couple, I think is amazing.
Awesome. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome. LB, tell me, I don't know, tell me your most memorable interaction you had with somebody regarding your Lego hobby.
I think I would have to say it was this summer.
Hmm.
So I got an interesting email earlier this summer from I won't say his last name, but a guy named David.
Hmm.
He sent me this email. And it was a little weird because it was just, it was a regular email from somebody that I don't know. I was like, that's interesting. And it was one where he told me, he's like, hey, I ordered from you and a bunch of other sellers, and I wanted to show you what I built. And it was the very first time, and I think it's only the only time, of the exception of Charm City Brick, which I see them build stuff, and I know
Yeah.
I've sent them products, so I know what's in those builds. But it
Right.
wasn't a specifically like, hey, man, I bought stuff from you, and here's what I put it in.
Hmm.
But um, but David sent a wonderful email saying like I was really happy that I was able to get these products from you. I was able to I ordered from other stores too, and I'm
Hmm.
thankful for them as well. But I wanted to show you what I built, and it was this beautiful, it was visually simple but a very large lighthouse, modeled after a real lighthouse up in Michigan. Um, Sankaty Point, and I still remember it because it was a great email to get. Um,
Okay.
but it was one of the first times I could see like, oh, I know what I sent him. I went back and looked it up. I was like, I see what I sent you, and I see where it is, and I see what you've done with it, and that is an amazing thing. And I really enjoyed that. I was beaming for a solid couple of hours after I got that email. It was just so good. Like that's one of those things where you're like, I want to go get more product, but more in the store. I want to get more product in front of people so they can build great things too.
Right. Right.
So if you ever want to make your sellers happy, if somebody here, like anybody in the chat, anybody here or anybody who watches this later, if you order from people and you want to make them happy, send them a picture of what you built.
All right. All right. I'm gonna
That'll
do
that'll
that.
that'll get them a little bit charged more into the next thing they're going to put into the store, because they're going to be like, well, what if I put this in the store? What is somebody going to build with this item?
Never thought of that. That's a pretty good perspective. Me on the other end of the brick. I'm always buying. I'm a collector, and I never think about your end of the brick. Whereas you're wondering what's the next creation? What is this person creating?
Yeah, and as long as you're, I think, as long as you're other minded, you're going to do
Hmm.
well. And this is for like anybody who wants to be a seller out there. If you're other minded, you're going to be fine. If you're self minded, you're going to do okay too, but you won't get the enrichment that you get from focusing on what other people are going to do. And that doesn't mean you have to be selfless. You do have to make sure your store is tight. You got to make sure your inventory is good. You got to make sure what you're doing is correct.
Hmm.
But if all of that is in service of others, then I think you're going to do very well. There are a lot of other tips and tricks and sort of general rules I can give to people, but um, if you're focused on what somebody else is going to do, and you're happy to serve them, and you're waiting for them to come to you to be served, then you're already most of the way there.
Okay. Okay. Hey, folks. Thanks for stopping in at On the Icebox with Iceberg Bricks. My guest tonight is the one and only Learned Brick,
Hello,
and this
everyone.
is this is that part of the show where we tap into some of the things that Learn Brick has created, and like I said, he's bringing a new perspective to the show, and I thank for him for stopping in. And so let's check out the slides.
Oh man, this is almost like embarrassing holiday photo time.
It's all right, man. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can get this thing right. All right, here we go. All right, man. So tell us about this build that you have here on the left, good sir.
So this is my paying a little respect to the C model of the 3-in-1s. So 3-in-1s have like the main model, and then like the mid model, and then the C model, which people build, but they're like, yay, whatever. I want to do the big one. This one
Hmm.
is the C model of, I believe, oh, good grief, I'm going to get it wrong too. It's the one, this one is a post office, but it's like the city, it's like the city shop, like the city grocer from about a year and a half ago. But it's one of those things where I was gonna crack open the set and build it, and the wife was doing something, but I was like, I just gave her the 3 instruction books, and I'm like, here, pick the one you want me to build, because I always want to build the big one, but I'm like, maybe something else. So she was like, here, this one, and it was the C model. So I was like, all right, fine.
Hmm.
And it was still enjoyable, and it was still great, and it's still built over there. I haven't torn it apart and built the main models, but it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, I will give a little bit more shrift to maybe the lesser built models in a 3-in-1.
Hmm.
Of course, if Minifig Collector was here, he'd tell me exactly what set that is. He's super good at this. Oh, there, Toy Shop Newsstand. There it is. But it's a year and a half ago. How can I be expected to remember these things?
Yeah, it'd be you got a lot of bricks you done seen it since in a year and a half. So is this your I mean, you like the 3-in-1s?
I think they're fun. It gives a little bit of variety, and especially like if you want to have one box of bricks that maybe you get a little extra mileage out of, the 3-in-1s are great, especially for kids.
Hmm.
I like it for it teaches them like, hey, yeah, this pile of parts makes this one big thing, but tear it apart and now make something else, and then it gets them in that sort of like motion of, oh, okay, I can tear my sets apart
Hmm.
and turn them into something different, and maybe something greater, maybe something that includes pieces from other sets. And so I really dig the 3-in-1s, especially the structures.
Ah, all right. So tell me, how did you go about designing your sig fig, good sir? Are you there? Uh-oh. Did we lose you? Let's see. Can't hear you. I think we lost him. Uh-oh. Try to jump in and jump back out if you can, LB. Uh-oh. Did we lose him? I think we lost some folks. Let's see if we can give me a few minutes, see if we can jump in, jump back out. Oh no. Let's see if we can stand by, folks. We're having some technical difficulties trying to get LB back in here. Hey, you make it back in? Let's see if we can add him back in here, folks. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can invite him back in here, folks. See if we can finish this up. Hmm. Let's see. You get back in here? You in? Hey, can you hear me?
We're back. Oh my
All right,
goodness,
all right, all right, all
that was
right.
embarrassing.
It happens, man. I mean, what can you do, bro? It happens. It happens, man. All right, let's see if I can share us back up here.
Internet's supposed to be.
Uh-oh. Are you up in the hills? You breaking up a bit.
Society here. What is this? I got.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hey. ALB. Hey, you need to put some aluminum foil on your antennas. See if you can jump back in here, man. Yeah, he needs some aluminum on his antennas. Hey, put the aluminum on your antennas, man.
I know. All right, I think we're a little smoother now. There we
All
go.
right.
Oh my goodness, I feel bad.
It happens, bro. It happens. It happens. Yeah, what can you do?
I may actually put an extender down here.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh.
let's see what we got here. All right. So how'd you come up with your sig fig?
So we were in, my wife and I were in the store up in Victor, New York,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just going through the minifig, build a fig bin. She
Mm-hmm.
found she was like, oh, I can. You found all these parts. She's like, it's me. And I was like, oh, great. So now I had to find me.
Ah.
And through the course of going through the bin, I found these parts. I like a nice classic outfit. I like a good
Right.
collared shirt. And I'm always in jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to find a better beard piece though, because my beard's getting a little bit bushier than what's on the fig head.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, these are just the parts in the bin, and they worked out well for us. I think the one just in front of the books is the original. I did go online and buy a bunch. I was so mad that I didn't I couldn't snag all of the torsos. Big B had had 50 of me, my torso. And I waited, and unfortunately, I waited too long, and I only got like 26. He sold out a bunch. But I may have to change the sig fig though, because since putting it together and sending it and trading it out to folks, I have since found out that my torso is in one fig, and it's in a retired set. Of course, it's always in a retired set. That's how it is. But so I may change it up. I don't know. There's folks in Germany who've got a bunch of them, so I may bite the bullet and do an international order. But I like it. It's a nice classic look. And it was just in a bin, just rando parts.
Huh. Awesome stuff. So you like the that I see a lot of photos that you take in front of the Highlander Club.
Yeah, so that used to be the landing place because oddly enough, it's a place of a little bit of classiness and efficiency from literally this computer. It's a straight line to it, but I liked that scene, or at least that facade of the building. The others are a little too cluttered. And that one's a clean area to sort of welcome folks into the city. I say the city usually loosely, but it's just modular row. Just they're all there.
Okay.
So that's the pool house side of the pet shop build. So it was just a nice place to put people. Nowadays, I welcome people in Assembly Square because it's got the nice, large, open area in the front. And it's my new favorite, large build. It's just a good place to take pictures. It's one of those things where like it makes for a clean picture, and I don't want to say, oh, here's this person who came to my city, and also here's all this other thing behind them cluttering up the image. I want to have a nice, a nice backdrop for folks to come in.
Okay.
I do have to get more sig figs out so I can do some more trades and get more people in the city.
Yes, you hear it here. He's open for the sig fig trade. So if you need us,
not yet. I don't have. I still need all the torsos. I have all the other parts. I just need more torsos.
Hurry up and buy it.
Yeah, I'm serious. That's the plan for January. January tends to be a little bit of a dead time, so I can get some more fig parts.
Awesome stuff. So how was this build here, man? What'd you think about this build that you did here?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was very good for the price. I got it from Bricks for Chris at one of Bricksmith's famous late Lego auctions. And I was like, it was delightfully affordable. And so for that part already got me happy about it. I will have to say, for people who haven't done this one, it's very repetitive in parts. But the cool thing is, if you're going to build it and then build it once and then take it apart, it's got some great pieces. You get a ton of white headlight bricks. You get good sand green all over the place. But I like it because, in the same way that I like a lot of the architecture builds, and this picture was just sort of a nice thank you for Bricks for Chris for supplying just a wonderful evening build. I do like it's just got that nice classic architecture look, and I like a nice clean build. And these do very well. And there's a ton of like little teeny nano figs inside. So if you want to keep them for your collection, just take the dome off and take them all out and put the dome back on. No one will let her know.
Nice.
All the little statuettes are on the inside.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, they do the so it's a what's it called? It's like the Hall of Patriots, I think, is under the rotunda of the Capitol building. And so the designers of the set did a good job of honoring that sculpture arena by putting 8 nano fig, basically statuettes, all down there. There's 4 in white and 4 in dark bluish gray, I believe. So if you want to keep those for yourself, just take them out and don't ever show anybody the inside.
Oh, pretty slick. So here's your you started your assembly square. So I mean, what do you think about this build, man?
I thought it was very intricate. I thought there's a few areas where they could have improved. Yes, they can improve on very large builds. But I thought I think the florist shop, the one in the middle there, could use a little extra space for people's hands to fit stuff in there.
Okay.
But I don't think these sets are really meant for like play. They're meant for display, which is cool. And I really like the build of these. And I like the fact that they did some very interesting with the fountain build. There's a lot of like tile on top of tile layering, and you get this really cool sort of nice 45-degree effect. They're making very good. They're getting a lot of mileage out of the 2x2 cut corner tile piece. which is
Okay.
just the white around the fountain. You see the gray around the tiling in the front. Lego's getting a ton of mileage out of that piece. They love that stuff. So, and I think that in these sets is beautiful. And and you'll notice almost the entire base plates at the bottom are just tiled over, and that's what they do with a lot of these builds. So I think they're fantastic. And you always get these very cool inside builds, and usually my job is to I build up the walls, and I let my wife not let life likes to build the sort of intricate inner decor.
Okay.
So she got to do the inside of the photographer's office and the inside of the dentist's office, and she built the chair. And she's like, "Yeah, that's also pretty badass."
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's just white and light aqua, but when it comes together, it's a real it's an actual dentist chair, and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would feel a little the architecture of this building is a little bit weird, mainly because you have to walk through the dentist's waiting room to get to the photographer's office. But I guess that's how they do in the city.
Right.
Maybe nobody
Get in
cares.
somewhere. Yeah. Walk
Although
in one way to get to
maybe you
another.
go get your teeth cleaned, and then you can take a really nice picture because you get a nice bright
Yeah.
smile.
That ain't bad.
Ah, there she is, all finished.
All
And
finished.
you'll also notice the glass in the back is empty because you finished the build and you finished the beers.
Yes. Yes.
I think for
Yes.
this one I had a nice I think it was from there's a wonderfully named brewery down the road from me called the Brewery Broken Dreams, which is fantastic. And they make a nice when did we put this together? So that would have been in October. So that was when the Crazy Jack season was on. So it's a pumpkin triple ale. It's fantastic.
Ah. Okay. Okay. I like the pumpkin beer. I like the pumpkin beer. It's like real spicy, almost like the ginger snap. Almost kind of remind me of the ginger snap.
Oh yeah, if you go full spicy, it's nice. I don't like the ones that are just heavy and gourd flavor.
Uh,
Hey, speaking of heavy and flavor,
so my man here, you eat pretty well, man. You are an exquisite type of guy, man. Tell us, man. Tell us about this spread that you got here and this
oh,
wine that you got here.
so interesting that you chose the second of the two meat and cheese nights. So this was, I think we were coming back from some trip, and meats and cheeses is a meal that I've had with my family from way back.
Hmm.
My mom is Mexican, and so she sort of understood large meal culture. Like you make a lot of things and you make everyone happy, and that's how you love your family is through your food and through your service
Okay.
to them. My father is a
Hmm.
French American, so he understood. He's like, but you want to come together in a small meal, but something that you can share.
Hmm.
So when he introduced her to meats and cheeses, she was like, "Wait, this is a meal? Like you could just sit down and have meats and cheeses?" And like, yeah, that's what you do. You sit and you have some meats and cheeses, and a little loaf of bread, and you sit and you talk, maybe a drink or two of wine, and that's your night. You just enjoy yourself. Like you savor the small bites instead of having large amounts of food, like you see in a
Right.
lot of Mexican and Italian culture, like large family style meals. Neither one is the correct way to eat. You do what you want to do.
Right.
Um, but I love meats and cheeses from way back in the day. So when I introduced this to my wife, and she was like, "What? This is a meal?" I'm like, "Yes, this is a meal. This is great. Trust me." And now we jump on the chance to have meats and cheeses. Now this is also one of those things you can do in Europe because this stuff is cheap. Um, but in the U.S., you got to buy a
Yeah.
bunch of different stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not going to say it's um, I'm not going to say it's high dollar, but you got to plan these things out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like a nice meats and cheeses night where we can just sit and have some little prosciutto, little peppered salami. So
Hmm.
this one is there's the I can tell you all this stuff. Top is a nice aged sharp New York cheddar, and then there's a triple creme de Bourgogne.
Uh-huh.
Let's not knock the pronunciation. I speak French like my grandma speaks French. It might not be right, but I get my point across. But a nice creme de Bourgogne, a good, just a good, creamy. It's a little footy, so if you don't like your cheeses footy, don't get that one. But I
Okay.
like a nice footy cheese, and
Hmm.
then a uh, a uh, um, a wine washed Italian white cheese, which was super delightful. I think that was the star of the night. That one surprised me the most because I know what cheddar tastes like, I know what a triple cream cheese tastes like, but the the um, the sheep's milk cheese, third down from the top, is delicious.
Okay. Okay.
So if you ever get a chance, just like go to the supermarket, go to the deli side, or go to like the cheesemonger side. A lot of
Hmm.
people sort of walk past it. Pick up a cheese you've never picked up before. Like give it a smell first. Maybe if it smells too rough for you, don't have that one, because
Right.
90% of eating is smelling. So if it
Right.
smells rough, it's
Yeah,
gonna
you're not
taste
gonna
rough.
like it. And it taste so hot.
But I encourage people, if you've never heard of it and if you've never tasted it and it seems weird, go get it. Go try it once, because then you know what your boundaries are. You get to push that a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. Live life a little bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And this is in all areas. If you haven't tried something now, that to be said. If you know you've got a fear of it, or if it's probably dangerous, maybe not so much do that, but that
Mhm.
dangerous.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Awesome. Definitely
Mm.
some favorites of yours.
Well, this was the Thanksgiving lineup this year.
Okay.
So from left to right, we have a Texas White. It's a mix of Marseille and Viognier.
Hmm.
Trust me, again, like I could talk about wine all night. That was a nice one. And then with Thanksgiving, I find especially because you've got the standard American hits. You've got your turkey, you've got your green bean casserole, you've got your potatoes, you got some vegetable that somebody's made. It's there,
Hmm.
but you don't really want it. You want more potatoes. Um, but a rosé, a dry rosé,
Hmm.
goes with that very nicely. It plays off a lot of the. If you've made your turkey right, it plays off the turkey very well. It'll mix in with some of the veg. You don't
Hmm.
have to go full white or full red. You can go a nice rosé. It's nice. And then
Okay.
the evening ended up, because it's a nice celebratory evening. You're getting together, having friends. You have a nice bubbly, the
Right.
bubbly Bantam. The Rooster Hill is a local New York winery up in the Finger Lakes, and that's our favorite
Hmm.
champagne style from the region. I'm not going to call it champagne because it has to be from the Champagne region to be called that. They're a little bit of a stickler, and so am I. But
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
delightful bubbly wine. And for the fall season, we mix that with a little bit of hard apple cider, and it's just a nice after dinner
Hmm.
cocktail. Reminds you of like just the goodness of the season. And then for anybody who doesn't like wine, who's like, wine tastes so winey.
Hmm.
Rosa Regali by Bonfi, the champagne on the far right. It tastes like raspberries. You pour it for anybody, they'll drink it. It's so good.
A little sweet, sweet
Yeah,
wine.
it's not cloyingly sweet, but it is delightful. You'll get people hooked into it pretty quick.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So these next few slides are some of your buys and stuff like that. So tell me what it is to be a Bricklink seller. Like you have to be a buyer before you sell, of course. So
Oh yeah.
what are some of the things? I mean, what do you decide? How do you know what to buy before you sell?
Well, before I decide what to buy, because actually buying is not even the first action. It's after you've decided what you know about yourself. Having a store, and what I've found over time, demands of you four things.
Hmm.
It demands of you balance, order, time, and patience. And if you have
Okay.
any of those in short measure, you may have a tougher time than others in selling.
Hmm.
If you need to be able to balance your time, you need to be able to organize your parts, you need to be able to devote the time to it,
Hmm.
and you need to be able to sort of understand that this is a product that takes some time, and you need to be patient with it. Um, you need to like not buy with your emotions, and that's a tough thing to do. A lot of
Hmm.
people go out and be like, "Oh, it's a great, it's a good price. It's lower than it was." But patience is key if you're going to be a seller, and if you want to grow. Now, if you just want to have like 10, 20, 30,000 parts and turn those over, just always have 20,000, 30,000 parts, perfectly fine. It's a nice little side business. Maybe it'll generate a little bit of cash. Um, but if you want to grow, if you want
Hmm.
to be a good seller, and you want to have a lot of product for people, and that's my goal at the end of this, is to quit the day job and have this be the day job. And I'm on the big B plan, make it
Right.
full time. Um, you got to have those. But after you've figured out where you fall in those four items,
Hmm.
then you go to buying. Then you do the analysis, and then you do the hunting, and the hunting is the fun part. It doesn't
Okay.
seem like a lot of fun, but the hunting's a great part. Um, so like, yeah, and when Kmart's close, oh, I love it. So yeah, the one on the left is a Kmart closing down. I was like, I will buy all of these. Thank you very much. But it's one of those things you also need to like understand. You can't just buy like one of every set. You got to buy multiples. You got to buy copies. You got to get enough parts where people are going to be like, oh, hey, this person's got like, I just did 5 each of the vignettes for the holiday season from Lego. So I did the Thanksgiving and the Christmas train ride and the little market square,
Okay.
5 each. And so immediately today, somebody said, "Oh, this person's got 30 bricks in dark tan. I'm going to grab those." And they went today. They were gone.
Gone.
So you gotta. Now, this doesn't mean like you need to go to your stores and swoop off the shelves. And you can do it, but I try to stay away from the local stores as much as I can, mainly because these are people and they're going shopping here, and their family's going there, and their kids going there. And yes, there's some small of little smirk you can get when you're like, "Aha, none for the kids." But there, again, you have to be other minded. You'd be like, somebody's going to come here and going to want this product.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
there are times when a deal is just too good to pass up. Just too good to pass up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I took a picture of it because I put it in so fast last week, but they did oh, look, my little glass of wine there. The one on the left is a nice Chenin Blanc. I don't know what the one on the right is. I can't remember what I had with the one on the right is the Tiger Widow Island, the Ninjago one. The one on the left is the Ocean Explorer. That's the second bag. But a nice Chenin Blanc went well with that.
I do. Breaking wine.
I do know these things. They stick in my head. But the local Walmart had 31069, the big modular white villa house for the summer, the big one. It was $25, and I was like, nope, they're all mine. I'm sorry. So I bought 8 for the store and 1 for me because I want to put that together. Nice. I want to put them together too. I'm like, I can't. There's some times when you just can't pass it up. You have to go get it. Yeah. And they've been on the shelves all summer, but now they're mine. So, but I try to stay away from the stores. I order offline. I go to Walmart, get them by the dozen. The one that's coming up. Oh, I love that one. That one is, unfortunately, it's cropped. I really wish I'd gotten a better picture of that one. But I did 10 of the Adventure Time idea set. Okay. Walmart somehow got this like ludicrous idea that it needed to be $22. And so I was like, thank you. I will buy many, many of them.
Right.
But that was online, so I got them offline. Yeah, a lot of great colors and a lot of just all kinds of stuff. The only thing that doesn't move are the 1x3 bricks with the faces printed on them.
Okay. Uh-oh. Falling out there. Falling out a little bit. Can you hear me?
If anybody wants to come, they can. As a seller, it's all about patience and watching. Oh, butts.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah.
Now look at on the picture on the right. Your organizational skills, sir, are trickling over to your Lego hobby. Tell us about your organizational skills when you brickling. You there? Uh-oh. LB.
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So, oddly enough, the bead trays you see there are a vestige from the early days. So everybody has their system that they start with. You have to organize somehow. And of course, when you have a small store, you don't need a lot of space. The bead trays will work. So I got these for a couple of bucks each from local hobby store. But they work well for that you stack on and acro mills and those types of units are basically the de rigueur chore of bricklaying. They come out fat, like you can just use them very. But when I started out, it was just this bookshelf and these bead trays, and so I've kept them through my time as a seller. So I've got these, and you can see a little bit of the cabinets peeking out the side, and that wall extends out 10 to the left. But I have it's just nice to have a place to put the little tiny parts. Plus they get lost in a drawer, and I don't want to, you have to be efficient with the space you have, and that's a part of the balance and the order that you need for being a large scale seller. I know that I can put 1,190 lots on a bookcase if I fill it with 70 bead trays. I know that the drawers need to be reserved for stuff that doesn't fit in the bead tray. And then furthermore, shoe boxes, my largest, actually now my second largest size of packing items the shoeboxes were just it was one of the things where I noticed that X element, X mold, was
Mhm.
taking up 15 spots on the wall. Well, move all that to a shoebox, get the colors out when I need them. I have since that picture's a little shameful because all the colors are mixed. Uh, but I've since now gone into those shoeboxes and organized them by color, and inside each shoebox are now baggies that contain all the colors.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's that's a part of the order. You have to know how much you want to organize a store. And I've seen from, and I've been the, I should say, I've been the, I don't know if the lucky recipient or I've been able to buy up 3 smaller stores throughout the time that I've been a seller. And that's
Mhm.
not to say that I want to buy up stores, but they were for sale with the right amount of parts at the right price at the right time. So I just contacted them and says, hey, it looks like you're trying to sell your whole store. What do you take for the whole thing? So, and
Okay.
I found for the stores that I've bought, I can tell that there's not a lot of order and patience there. And so that's where I
Okay.
can tell there's an imbalance. Why are you selling your store? Because you didn't have the patience. And it's not to say that you're a bad person because you didn't have the patience. Maybe you wanted to get into it. Maybe you wanted to sell off some stuff. But it's just that when I received the full stores, I could tell like these were not organized the way that an efficient store would do it.
Right.
There are different ways to do it, but I could clearly tell that some of these were a little bit off. Like one store I received, all the parts were still in the set bags.
Mhm.
So I received like there was a layer of one set and then some bubble wrap and a layer of another set and some bubble wrap. So I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why. Now I understand why you're selling, because you had to go into all these little set bags and grab the pieces out, and it clearly was taking up a lot of your time.
Right.
And I know how that is. I tried that once. I tried the early when I first started. It was just baggies. Baggies weren't working. They weren't cutting it. And so I was like, what fixes this problem? So anybody who wants to be a seller on a, let's say, quote unquote professional level, look
Mhm.
into the video series from Brickzar and Bricks on the Dollar. They will show you some of the early trials and tribulations of a store, and they will show you their mistakes, and then you won't make them. You'll still make new mistakes. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Humans are really good at making new inventive mistakes, but you won't make theirs. Or at least if you do, you only make them once, and you'll
All
learn
right.
from that.
Awesome. Awesome. So one more question for you before I let you go.
Sure, sir.
So you're playing the game Jumanji, right? And you jump into a world where the other player is a younger you.
Oh my.
What do you say to that younger you?
Get out of your head. Get out of your head so much. I still spend a lot of time in my head just thinking through conversations, thinking through what I should have said, what I could have said, going back and replaying situations in my head.
Mhm.
And it's not even, this is just a life advice. It's not even like a bricks thing anymore. Just get out of your head. If you can learn that early, if you can learn to understand that you're going to make mistakes, don't think about them so much, and don't try to reinvent the past in your head. Because you do it all the time anyway. Anytime you access a memory, you're recreating it from scratch. So just that would be for me. Like, and we're gonna go on an adventure because we're in Jumanji. We're gonna go on an adventure. Let's not think about it so much. We just survive.
Right. Right.
By the way, if you see Robin Williams, let's get him out alive because the world needs more Robin Williams.
Yes. Yes. Much agreed, sir. Much agreed. Definitely more Robin Williams. All right, folks. I'm your boy Iceberg Bricks, and you just watch On the Iceberg with Iceberg Bricks. Um, Tune in Wednesday, 9 p.m. for the DMV Brick Bros show. You never know what's going to be said on those shows because those guys are bananas. And tune again next Monday. My guest is Spirit Particles, and she will stop in on the ice box and we'll have a chat. If you missed the show, definitely go back because Mr. Learn Brick has definitely dropped down some science that you should be catching with you a bricklink buyer or seller. He dropped down some science for you that'll help you be a better seller and a better buyer. So with that, I bid you peace, love, and Lego. Have a good night, folks.
Bye, everyone.